Ngiyabuma ungulu babu Takozani Dimelang Lisedi. Hello everyone and welcome to the one-on-one sessions with Gogo Musare, and I'm your host Gogo. Giving you tips, lessons and teachings on everything spirituality. Okay, so it's been a while since I posted anything. I know it's just this crazy weather has me cuddled up in bed 24/7. But anywho, I am back now. So today we are gonna be having a lesson on Ukufemba. Okay, because a lot of people be asking, like, what is Ukufemba? What is Ukufemba? Who does that? Who can do that? You know, there are so many questions about this process that a lot of people fail to find answers to, and that's what I'm here for, to give you guys answers on what Ukufemba is, why it is important, the pros and the cons of it, so you as a person can know if you ever decide, well, you know what, I'm gonna go Femba, what it is that you're going to get yourself into and whether or not you want to or not. I know saying that just makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's actually a wonderful thing. I personally love it. By the way, I do not do it. I do not Fembisa people, but there are a lot of healers out here who do that, and it's very easy for you to find one. Just look and you'll be able to find this person, but listen to the pros and cons of it first. So first of all, what is Ukufemba? Femba is a process whereby you as a person or a person is given the opportunity to speak to his or her ancestors and loved ones that have crossed over. So what happens is that during this process, there are obviously certain things that are done. Like, I don't know whether it can take a week or a couple of days. It will depend on the healer themselves. But what happens is that during that process, you are given the opportunity to communicate with your ancestors. You are given the opportunity to communicate with a loved one that just passed away. Maybe your grandfather just passed away, or maybe your father just passed away, your mother just passed away. You can be able to communicate with those people during the Femba process, and a lot of information can be given to you. Okay, so yes, during consultations you can still do that, but with Ukufemba it's pretty much a divination process of like consulting, but it's a longer process. It's a longer process, and Molor it's a bit longer, but you get the opportunity to speak to those people yourself. So that is kind of cool because you don't really have any boundaries as to what you ask the ancestors or what you ask this loved one who passed away and all those kind of things. Né? Secondly, it is a healing process for those that are governed by the Mdao spirit. Né? And what happens is that when you're governed by the Mdao spirit, whether you're a healer or just a person who has the gift, when you Femba, you heal that spirit. You allow that spirit to come forth. You allow that spirit to actually speak its piece and allow that spirit to actually perform at its best. Okay. And number 3, it is also an exorcism. So what happens here, because I know we all know what exorcism means, casting out evil spirit, and that's exactly what you do when you Femba. If it happens that you are under the process of Ukufemba and there are certain evil spirits that are possessing you, then those spirits will be cast out. And if the person taking you through this process is strong enough, he or she will be able to catch those and be able to have them tell you what they're doing, why they're doing this to you, and all those kind of stuff. So it's kind of like pretty cool, if you ask me. It's pretty cool. But who can perform it? Because obviously not every healer can do it, né? But the Femba process is performed by only Mdao spirit people, only people who are governed by the Mdao spirit, meaning you can't just go to a Sangoma and Sangoma and say, well, hello, I want you to Femba me. That's completely impossible. A prophet cannot do that. A person who has balloons cannot do it. A person who has Nzuza cannot do it. Only a person who has the Mdao spirit can take you through the Femba process. And what happens is that when this person is initiating, this is something that most people learn during their initiation, but if you haven't noticed, a lot of healers these days who possess the Mdao spirit do not really Femba. Okay, that is something you just need to know. Not every healer with the Mdao spirit Fembas. For example, I have a Mdao spirit. I do not Femba. I have never done it. I've only experienced it second hand. Like, seeing them perform it, having certain healers who actually perform it in my circle. So that is how I got to learn about it, but I do not take anyone through that process, and I do not know how to. Okay. But as I was saying, only healers that are governed by the Tao spirit can perform this. Okay, so if you're a healer with the Tao spirit and you have the desire to Fembisa people, then you can very well go and learn how to. Your spirit allows you to do that. Your spirits, they give you the power. It is a sacred power that only Tao spirit people can do. And what happens is that it's usually evoked properly once you have barolat, ne? Because remember there are different like stages to initiation, ne? And one of those stages is ho barola moya. That is where you evoke the spirit, you allow the spirit to work. And once you are done with that process, then that is where more of the power to actually take someone through the femba process is given to you. Okay, so you are given the opportunity to do it once ubaruju moya as a person with them Tao spirit, ne? And it's a way to divine. It's a divination method. Like I said earlier, it's like throwing divine bones. It's just different here and there. It's just a bit advanced here and there, and it's kind of cool if you'd ask me. The person who the healer is taking through the process is given the opportunity to speak and ask whatever it is that they wish. So this is actually the best part of it, because what happens is that whoever is going through that process is free to ask, is free to question certain things, and is allowed the opportunity to see from the views of the ancestors themselves. So it's actually a very beautiful thing. And another thing is that even the ancestors will come forth and speak to you. The ancestors will come forth and they will reveal themselves. They will tell you who they are, from which lineage they come from, for when they were alive, those kind of things. They will give you details about them, okay? Because not a lot of healers during consultation will be able to tell you, this is a certain person who does this and this and that, or who did this and this and that. So during that process, the healer will be able to show you, or the ancestors will be able to speak through this person or speak through you yourself, because it also happens that way, to actually reveal themselves and tell you who exactly they are. What happens during this process though? Well, the ancestors reveal themselves, tells you who they are, what they want, how to do it, and when to do it. Because that is the one thing that people are struggling with most of the times. Understanding, or knowing per se, knowing what it is that they have to do for their ancestors, when they have to do these things, how they have to do these things. So in this process, you are given the opportunity to hear it from them, to know what it is that you want to do, that they want you to do, and how to do it, and when to do it. Okay, so that's actually the nicest part of it. There is clarity in it. Okay, there are no riddles in between. There's just clarity, and you will be able to go along with the spiritual journey. Ne? Number two, your enemies are revealed to you. Their names, what they did to you, what they're doing to you, why they're doing all these things to you. Every single detail about your enemy is revealed to you. Because as healers, we obviously cannot just go around giving you guys the names of people that are bewitching you and all those things, because you guys talk too much, and you guys will get us in trouble, you know. So yeah. So when you're going through the femba process, since most of the times you'll be seeing things yourself, you'll be able to see who your enemies are and why they are doing certain things to you. Okay, why they are doing certain things to you, when they were doing these things, if they're still doing it, and just give you full details on what is going on. So your enemies are revealed to you, no boundaries. Illnesses are shown. Like if you are suffering from a certain illness and it's not like a natural illness, it's sort of like muti based or based on something else that is not natural, then that illness will be shown to you. And usually with muti that is actually muti based, then during that process itself you get healing as well. So there are certain, like the process, like I said, it takes a while depending on the healer. Some take a few days, some take a week, it just depends. But all in all, at the end of the whole process, you will be able to have healed from sicknesses, from whatever it is that may be bothering you at that point in time in your life. So number 4, entities just like the tokoloshi, the totwani, like those negative entities that can actually mount themselves onto a person, those entities are actually removed during that process. So that is where molore literally they'll come forth and reveal themselves about where they came from, who sent them, all those kind of stuff. And then after doing so, they are gone, they are removed. But that, like, okay, everything here, it will also depend on the power of the healer. Okay, if the healer is strong in that moment, because remember, a lot of things we can a healer at any time. Every healer is powerful equally. I'm not gonna say one is stronger than the other. That is not how I roll. But every healer is powerful. But certain things can weaken a healer here and there. But if one of us are sharp, then all these things are gone. So they are able to remove these entities, the tokoloshi, the jisho, all this kind of stuff. They are able to remove them. And usually when they are removed, they are returned back to who sent them to begin with. So that is a win-win situation. Number 5, spirits are cast out of your body if you are possessed. Okay, so that is where the exorcism part comes in, because remember what the tokoloshi and evil spirits, yes, they are similar, but evil spirits, I take it more as demonic spirits. Okay, because as much as those things are things we see in movies and all those things, they are very real. They are very real. A lot of healers encounter them. A lot of healers will tell you stories of encountering them, and yeah, their boy. But anywho, those things exist, and there are times whereby a person can be possessed by an evil spirit. Okay, a person can be possessed by an evil spirit, can be a demonic spirit, it can be, they differ. You understand that evil spirits are just different spirits altogether. It's not just one thing. But if it happens that the person undergoing Ukufemba has an evil spirit attached to them, then that spirit will come forth, reveal itself. If it's a demonic spirit, it will be able to come and say its name, and during that process, then that is where molor, it will be cast out of the vessel it has put itself into. But that is where Ukufemba is a bit risky, but we'll get into that. So that the reason why I'm saying, well, that is where it gets risky is because the person who's performing it, they are in like, it's a very dangerous process to undergo. So a healer needs to make sure that when they are doing it, they are strong, they are ready mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually focused in that very moment, because a simple mistake can be fatal. Okay, it can be fatal. The client's life could be at stake, your life as a healer could be at stake. So it's a very dangerous process, and even these entities can just move from this particular person and just go to the next person. So everyone then needs to make sure they're emotionally, like, they're just focused in every single way, and they are just ready to fight it spiritually. If you have to pray, if you have to, whatever it is that you have to do, just do it how you have to do it to get the best result and not be affected by this. Okay, and Lorna, like, obviously when you're done, you're gonna end up with bruises all over the body. So that's just another thing about it. Because I remember having this friend who's a sangoma who fembers, and I think it was about a year or two ago, and she was showing me the bruises that she gets from the whole process. She was like, dude, this is what I have to deal with. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. But yeah, it's a very dangerous process for the healer and also for the person who's undergoing this process. You need to be strong, you need to be focused by all means. When exactly do you femba though? When exactly do you femba? Well, I'd say anytime you wish to. Pretty much anytime you wish to. Any freaking time you wish to do it, just go ahead and do it. I don't really feel like there should be a restraint to it, because yes, it's a bit different and a bit difficult and a bit dangerous, but it's just like consulting. But Loana, most of the time people go and femba when they're struggling with unemployment, because that is when the reasons why they're struggling are revealed. And Loana, if anything, those things that are holding them back, they are removed and they can continue with their lives. So that is the first thing. Né? When their relationships and marriages are falling apart, so people that are struggling with their marriage and relationships, and it's not anything normal, remember that these are spiritual things. They will fix spiritual matters most of the times. Okay, so if your relationship or your marriage is falling apart and there is foul play in all of this, it will be able to put back the pieces. Okay, number 3, if you fail to get answers from your ancestors and you're just stagnant in life, you're not moving. Okay, if you're not moving, yes, there are other different ways to do though, to fix these things, with herbs, with water, depending on what kind of healer you go to. But most of the times when you're going to Femba, these are mainly the things that a person wants to fix. Né? Like I said, the last one is when you fail to get answers from your ancestors and you are just stagnant, even your ancestors are not moving. That is when more of their reasons for why you are stagnant are revealed to you, and you will be able to understand what is really causing all of these things, and you will be given a solution as to what you can do to fix that. Okay, so that is it. That is Ukufemba. I hope you guys now understand what it means, understand why it's important. And if you ever decide whether you want to go Femba, you know what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, and you'll just be able to do it right. So anyways, I hope you guys learned a lot from this. I hope you guys, whoever decides to do it, all the best, and yeah, Tukozani, have a beautiful one. Madlozi yakhuluma nawe